the first of two podcasts we're going to be doing today. This might be the first double podcast day in the history of PTM. So we're both excited about that one. Before we get into this one, though, today's podcast is presented by Props.cash. We 100% cannot do what we do without Props.cash. So if you think you're ready to level up your prop betting game, use code PTM at signup to get 25% off your first month. How's it going, Dave? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I spent the entirety of my morning really putting together some enhancements to the Discord. So we've got our Prop the Mic bot is now live. So you can basically go in, type any player's name in the NBA, and then it'll show you kind of what their hit rates are. What their projected line is, what their DVP value is, things like that. We've also just added some news feeds in there. So we're just like making enhancements every day. So I'm going to lean a little heavier on you for some picks today, but I have some confidence you got some good ones.
Yeah, nice small slate. We like these ones because you get some more time to dig a little deeper into each game and find value. So I think I dug up a few here.
And I have to say, last night's slate was trash. It was like, I mean, we knew it. We knew going into it. The totals were low. Mm-hmm. The spreads were like 12.5. Tonight's looking better. The only all these games started out at like a 3-point spread or less. Mm-hmm. The one of them moved up to 9.5 points, and that's because LeBron is out. So we'll probably tread a little bit more lightly on that game. But let's dive into the first one. Let's go to the Warriors at the Heat. The Heat are getting 2.5 points at home. Total is 217.5. So pretty low scoring game for a Warriors game, but the Heat, the Heat always have a low total. But looks like Jimmy's going to play in this game. He's listed as probable. So, and with a 2.5 point line, I would assume he's in. So let's make that assumption.
Yep.
And let's start with him.
Let's start with him. We're going to start and end with him unless you got something. I wasn't loving much from this game in terms of matchups. There wasn't many matchups dictating like strong overplays in terms of whether it's points, rebounds, or assists, any combination of those. The one that stuck out the most to me among all the props was Jimmy's scoring. So you have right there. Seen this line at 21.5, 22.5. Is it at 21.5 in most books?
You can get it at 21.5 on FanDuel still. Everywhere else, it looks like it's gone up to 22.5. So that seems really good value.
Yeah. So I don't have a ton for this. As you can see, the hit rate's not great. We're not leaning on like a 70-80%, recent hit rate trend here. What we are leaning on is this is the best scoring matchup in the game. And Golden State has allowed the 6th most points to opposing forwards since February 1st. They had a 40-point game to LeBron, DeMar DeRozan, 33, Jason Tatum, 27, Pascal Siakam, 25. All nice comps for Jimmy. Paul George, 24, RJ, 23. So some nice comps for Jimmy there. You can look at small forwards and power forwards for Jimmy.
Wow.
So no Hero, no Duncan Robinson. Scoring is going to come down to Jimmy and Bam here. And I don't know. I'm leaning Jimmy in the spot. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that Siakam comp too. Mm-hmm. 25 points for Siakam. Mm-hmm. They have a different game, but in terms of Jimmy's got a pretty versatile game, like not a lot of outside shooting, mm-hmm. but, explosive around the rim, good little, 15-foot jumper. I feel like Siakam's got a similar game in that sense. Do you agree?
Yeah. I think the two best comps, him and DeRozan, I think are the two best.
DeRozan's comps. Even better. Even better comp. So, okay. Yeah, I love that play. Very nice. Nobody on the Warriors side, huh?
No, nothing was. Going up against Miami, you also have like some different Miami rotations. Without some of the regular pieces. Like I see Patty Mills lines on Patty Mills, never a good sign. It wasn't good to begin with, and with some different rotations there, I'm just I'm waiting and seeing. But I think you might have a play on a low line on Patty Mills. Is that what I'm sniffing out here?
No,
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Okay.
That's there's a certain players I just stay away from. Patty
Okay.
Mills, was he even on this team like 3 weeks ago? Like he's a new
No, he
addition.
wasn't. He wasn't.
Yeah, so I had high hopes for Patty Mills when he came to the Brooklyn Nets. And then he didn't really do anything in his tenure there. So I'm done with him.
Okay.
I got nothing on this game.
Let's move on.
I think we move on. All right, let's go to the Lakers at the Bucks. I was excited about this one. Then LeBron was ruled out. So the Bucks are now minus 9.5.
Yeah.
231 is the total in this game. Like I said, LeBron is out. Lakers are atrocious. They've only won 12 road games. So even if LeBron was playing, this is probably a Bucks win.
Yeah.
And Pat Bev is out. That was the other,
that
was the other story behind this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure he'll be barking from the bench for sure. So
definitely.
We got to get Pat Bev on this pod. He has a pretty good rival pod.
He was so fun to watch. I was at the Bucks Clippers game, sitting pretty close, and he's just so fun to watch. He's just mixing it up with everybody, like weighing in with his opinions and his little things that he notices, letting everybody else know. He's a fun player to watch, even from the bench.
Yeah, and he's really knowledgeable about the game. I saw something where he was kind of like showing the guys like how to properly set screens earlier
I remember you
this
sending
year.
that to me. Yeah. When he was with the Sixers, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he's a good veteran leader. I'm surprised he bounces so much, but I'm sure he comes with some baggage.
I could see him wearing out his welcome, possibly, maybe
4 times in a year and a half. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go. What do you like in this one?
All right, so without LeBron, I wanted to look who would do the scoring for the Lakers. So you have an incredible matchup for wings. Milwaukee's allowed the third most points to wings this season. So Austin Reeves is one of those guys. He just straddles the line between a combo guard and a wing. His first 2 seasons in the league, he was designated in cleaning the glass as a wing this season due to missing Gabe Vincent and whatnot. He's played some more minutes at point guard, which has shifted him to the combo guard. But I'll still look at wing matchups for Reeves, and I love this one here. Third most points to wings. We could scroll down and look at some of the shooting guards and small forwards to see some hit rates there. But what I liked was I don't know who we're nothing crazy, but he's going to have some increased usage here. He's 6 for 9 this season, scoring 18 plus points in games without LeBron. So I like that. And given the matchup, I thought that pairing those two together was a positive sign for Reeves tonight.
Yeah. I mean, look at some of these games. You got Giddey put up 19. You had Cam Thomas 21, Jaylen Brown 21. That's kind of low for him, but Derek White, he's not a wing, but he's got aspects of his game.
For sure,
reflect that, right? I think he's more of a combo guard.
Yeah.
And then Bradley Beal at 28. So those are all guys that you could say have the similar game.
For sure, yeah.
The question is, will he be assisting more? What is the starting lineup for this team tonight without LeBron in there? Let's just take a quick look at that. I assume, I don't know if you got that there.
No.
Here we go. Yeah, so they got D'Lo and Reeves. That's good. I think that's good for this play that Reeves is not running point. D'Lo run point. Mm-hmm. Reeves will be the shooting guard. Prince will be small forward. Rui, your favorite guy, playing power forward, and AD with a indefinite game time decision tag next to his name, starting at center. So that's perfect. Kind of keeps Reeves right in that shooting guard position. I think he is prime for a big game tonight.
Nice. All right. And then on the other side, Giannis was just jumping off the board in this matchup. Points, rebounds, and assists. They were all like, some of the highest, percentile matchups on the board today. So I was like, you know what? Let's just put them all together. We don't do too many PRA plays, but we're doing one tonight. I know it gets high. It gets scary, 48.5.
Yeah.
But look at his last 3 games against the Lakers.
Ooh, look
Up for games against the Lakers. They're at home. They've been playing. They're like hot right now. They've been playing so well. They finally are like gelling once, they've had a few weeks or whatever under Doc Rivers. The Lakers have allowed the most points to opposing forwards since February 1st. They've also, Giannis is another one of the guys, multi classifications. I look at bigs also when I'm looking at comps for Giannis. Lakers have allowed the fourth most points to opposing bigs. So whether you look at him as a forward or a big, it's a great matchup for him. And you see the success he's had against the Lakers. So hopefully without LeBron, this one stays close, doesn't get away from him. And if he's playing the full minutes, which I think he will with AD in there, and I can see D'Lo having a game. I like him to get over 49.
Yeah, seems good. The Bucks also have, I mean, they've been, like you said, they've been playing a lot better the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But they also just have that ability to just give up leads. So I could see them getting off to a big lead, giving it back. Kind of looks like Giannis isn't going to play the fourth. And by the end of the third, it's a 10-point game.
We got to put him back in.
Come back in. So I could see that sort of roller coaster going on in this game. But yeah, I could also see Giannis putting up like 40 points in this game as well.
Yeah.
So
I say if you look at the last time that they played, I believe Giannis and Dame both had 12 assists in that game, that March 8th game.
Giannis definitely did, and Dame did.
Yeah,
wow.
Look at that. 24 assists between the two of them against the Lakers less than a month ago. Yeah.
They had 24 assists, and Dame had 28 points, and Giannis had 34 points. So that must have been a very high scoring game, right?
Yeah, it had to have been. Yeah, I didn't see, but
all right, that's nice.
Doing a Giannis Dame parlay.
Maybe
I don't love it as much without LeBron.
Yeah, I mean there is risk that it could be a blowout. You got the Malik Beasley story too. Maybe
revenge game. I just thought of that when I saw his name there.
Maybe Beasley does something. What about the centers? You like anything for AD or Lopez? I kind of think Lopez is in a spot to go over, potentially AD in a potential fade spot. Either of those ring a bell for you?
I didn't really look too much into those guys. So let me hear.
No, I think, I mean, if you look at the history, Lopez versus the Lakers, he cleared 10.5 points in 2 out of the last 3, 1-for-1 this year, put up 11 points. So it was close. I'm looking maybe at his 3-pointers as well. That was what was appealing to me. 1.5 threes. He's hit that in 2 out of 3. And the last time they played, which was just a couple weeks ago, he had 3 threes.
Yeah, that was when you said Brook Lopez. That was where my head went. And that's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Lopez, yeah. Lakers have allowed the most 3-point attempts to bigs since February 1st. They've surpassed Chicago. It used to be Chicago for a long time.
Yeah.
And if you look, there's a very clear line here between the Lakers don't give up a lot of 3-point attempts to your guards, but then forwards and bigs both third most 3-point attempts to forwards, third most 3-point attempts to bigs. So those front court guys are threes are where to target against the Lakers for sure.
Well, if Giannis is going to have 12 assists and Dame's going to have 12 assists again, Brook Lopez is probably going to be bombing some threes.
Great point.
I mean, look at these 3 comps in the last month, one of which was Lopez, but then you got Naz Reid, who's also a big 3-point shooting center, 5 threes, and then Miles Turner, same thing. Profiles very similar, 4 threes. So
Sneaky.
I might do 2 threes was I think minus 180, so that's not great. So you can either put that with as part of a ladder or as part of a parlay, or maybe we even ladder this thing up to 3 or 4 threes, something like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Not going to go into AD, but I think maybe even fading AD. I could see him. I don't know. I could see him not getting huge minutes tonight. I could see him not doing much against Giannis and Lopez. So
yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got the Thunder at the Pelicans. This is probably the best game of the night.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Although Brandon Ingram's still out, so that kind of takes a little bit of the excitement away from this one. But the Pelicans are pretty deep. They can fill in for him. Pelicans are getting 1.5 at home. Totals 223.5. What do you like in this one?
All right, like a few in here. Posted one up earlier. Chet Holmgren scoring. It was actually the #1 scoring matchup on the entire board in our model today. Makes sense. Look at those last 2 games against the Pelicans, 19 and 20 points this season. One right at the beginning of the season, one like 2 months ago, late January. He's also been playing well just very recently. 3 of his last 4 games he's gone over, averaging 20.3 points per game over just his last 3 games, and gets a good matchup that he's performed well in this season. So I like I like Chet in this spot.
Yeah, I have to imagine his game is a little too versatile for Jovel, right?
Yeah.
Like he's just got too much to his game, right? He's good off the dribble, good for like a little pull-up jumper, and can also back you down. So I think Jovel might struggle in this one to defend Chet. Especially with Ingram not in place, right? Ingram's just another big body down there that could potentially help on defense.
Good point.
So, so I like that one a lot. Chet, I have to take a little pause here and just mention we put a futures bet on Chet at 13.3 points for the season. Right now he's averaging 17. So
I think that one's safe.
I think unless he has like -5 points a game, I think we got that one locked up. So just gotta wait for the season to end to cash that one. But that was a very nice one that we locked in early before the season. All right. Anybody else in this one?
Yeah, I got 2 more. I like this game. So next one is Giddey rebounds, over 5.5 rebounds. It's -136, so maybe use it as a leg parlay. But he's done this in 7 of his last 10 overall, averaging 6.8 rebounds per game, even in somewhat limited minutes compared to the minutes he's playing last year. And then just look at his splits against New Orleans. He's got New Orleans number 5 of his last 6 games against the Pelicans with some nice rebounding outputs. The one miss recently was that game in January, but the one before that at the beginning of the season, 9 rebounds there. So I like this spot for Giddey. Been having a little trouble getting Giddey right this season, but I don't know. This feels like a good one.
Yeah, he only played 23 minutes in that game, played 31 minutes in the game prior. If we look at his last 10, minutes are kind of up and down. 28 minutes in that game, 22, 26, but he is averaging 25 minutes over that stretch. So very winnable game for the Thunder, especially on the road. Seems like Giddey might get some extended minutes today, but even if he doesn't, I still like 6. I love 5. So maybe we can do something like Giddey 5 rebounds and Brook Lopez 2 threes. That could be a nice little parlay from.
I might have one. My next pick, maybe we could keep it in the same game with a parlay here.
Perfect. Let's do that.
All right. So on the other side of the ball, Zion assists. We're going to point Zion tonight. 5.5 assists. This one's -150. So also a little pricey. So it's kind of the one that kind of something that you want to put with something else. So yeah, maybe even bring that down to 5 and 5. That'd be beautiful. He's had 8 assists in each of the last 2 games he's played against OKC. And not only that, but both of those games were without Brandon Ingram. So you get a very comparable matchup to what he's doing tonight. And if you just look overall, he's cleared in 4 of his last 5 games without BI in there. So point Zion comes into effect, it seems, when Brandon Ingram is not playing. And the matchup is great. OKC has allowed the 4th most assists per minute to bigs since February 1st. So loving Zion here. And I like the 5 and 5. That might be a nice little way to target this.
Yeah.
With Giddey.
So it's so funny, though. We talk like Brandon Ingram's out. So now Zion steps up to be the point guard. But we kind of like forget that they actually have a point guard, right?
I guess so.
Is CJ McCollum just not a point guard?
He's not a point guard.
He's a shooting guard, right?
He is. Yeah.
He's just slotted into that point guard role, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Point Zion, it is.
Yep.
He's looking incredible, man. I'm happy for him. He's finally having a bounce back season. You think the Pelicans have any shot of going places this year?
I think they are super deep and talented. It's not a team you'd want to run into in the playoffs. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if they're all healthy. That's a tough team. Even some of the deeper bench pieces, guys like Alvarado and Najee Marshall. Like, there's a lot of talent on that team.
Murphy's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Murphy could be putting up 20 something points on any team.
Even like what's his name? The rookie point, Jordan Hawkins. He's another like just super talented guy. That guy's a great shooter.
Hawkins, Dyson Daniels, I think has been out.
Hurt,
so if he comes back, they have a little bit more depth there. Yeah, they're a good team. I don't think they win it all, but I think they could pull an upset off in the playoffs for sure. All right, let's wrap it up. We got the Mavs at the Kings. Kings are -1.5 at home. Total's nice, 233.5. Pretty much everybody's playing in this one. You got Green is out for the Mavs, but other than that, I think everybody else is in. What do you like?
This one was a little tough as well. No matchups really jumping off the board. The one I liked the most was Daniel Gafford rebounds, over 7.5 rebounds, -120. It was -120 on both DK and FanDuel. 22 different bigs have had 8+ rebounds against Sacramento since February 1st. It's a big number.
It's kind of surprising, right? Like with Sabonis back there.
Yeah, I know. It is surprising. It's also surprising that Richaun Holmes, who's not a great rebounder, who was actually on Dallas and now playing for Washington, had 16 rebounds against Sacramento. The last game I don't know if it was the last game or 2 games ago, but recently. Had 16 rebounds. I think, you got the list right there. So I thought 7.5 just seemed a little bit low, given like how many guys have just been getting, maybe not clearing their line, but getting significant rebounds.
Look at his minutes too. Came in playing 21 minutes, 24, 22, up to 26, back to 24. But the last 2 games in a row, 27 and 27. He's been playing great. He was exactly what they needed. Put up 11 rebounds in that last game and 13 points. So he's been really a good addition. I think he's going to continue to get extended minutes in this one.
Yeah, I think that's a nice one. And then lastly, De'Aaron Fox, points. He's been down. His scoring's been down a bit lately. His line's 26.5, -120. You can see it's been down only 3 of his last 10 games. But look at his splits against Dallas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like, who's the other team? The Lakers. I don't know. He's got their numbers. There's a couple teams that Fox just always gets up to play. And it seems like Luka and the Mavs are one of them. He's also good. They're on a back-to-back today. He's cleared in 4 of his last 6 on back-to-backs as well. So that's a nice one, though. The matchup's not screaming out. This is a little bit, this is probably like a top 10, top 12 matchup. It's not like top. But with the total in this game, I think you're going to see some scoring. And I don't know. I'm feeling a Fox game here.
Yeah, it's nice. I just, there's something about him of late that doesn't feel right. I don't know if he's battling through an injury or something. Look at that. He just doesn't seem like the De'Aaron Fox. So I think it's a nice play. I wouldn't go huge on it because I think you're kind of doing one of those like bets against the trend. And obviously you can find value when you do that. But at 26.5 points, that's still pretty much his season average at 26.7. So I don't know. I like the.
I hear you.
I like him to get. I think he's good for probably 25 in this game. I'm concerned about those last 2 points. So
yeah. All right. We had one. Did you have anything on this game?
No. I just want to look at Gafford again real quick and just point something out. If you look at Gafford assists, 5 assists in 2 consecutive games. And our guy, Reed the Green, in the PTM Discord called this out. He actually had a ladder, which I think the 5 assists was I think close to plus 1,000. So we nailed this one in the Discord yesterday for the community. Awesome job by Reed the Green, and he had a bunch of people tail him as well. So that was a lot of fun. I just wanted to make sure
Very
we
nice.
covered that while we were on.
Yeah, love that.
All right. What else?
All right.
What's the
We just had one question on YouTube here asking. So apparently, Jimmy was not at shoot around today. So there's a chance maybe he doesn't play. So there, Allison on YouTube was asking, what about Nikola Jovic in his place?
Yeah, I mean, Jovic is going to start even if Jimmy plays. The projected lineup is Rozier, Patty Mills, Tom's favorite player now, Jimmy Butler, Jovic, and Bam. Jovic has been an awesome addition. I think he's kind of getting the start in lieu of Hero. Also, Duncan Robinson's out, and Kevin Love is a game time decision, and Jaime Jaquez is a game time decision. So they're really thin. I like Jovic. I don't know if it's a great matchup. Bigs against the Warriors. What does that read for us, Tom?
Let's see here.
Because he is classified as a big. He's like 6'10", I think. He's a big dude.
Against the Warriors. Yeah, not bad. I mean, those are the two matchups to play. Forwards and bigs. Forwards, 7th most points. Bigs, 7th most points. Forwards, 6th most points over the last, since February 1st.
Let's see. Has he played the Warriors? Yeah, I mean, he played them back in December, had 11 points in that game. You do have to look and make sure that that Bam actually played in that game, because his scoring is up a lot when Bam is out. So games with Bam. Yeah, Bam played in that game. He put up 11 points. I think that's really good. And let's just look at his minutes real quick. So if we look at his last 10 games, he's 8 for his last 10, getting 6.5, which is a really nice line because I like anything under 7. This is the problem, right? Like, he gets 15 minutes in certain games. He's probably going to max out around 18 minutes. I'm sure if Jimmy doesn't play, it would be higher. But let's just say he gets 18 minutes tonight. And let's look at what he's done the whole season on 18 minutes. Oh, I got to set that again. No, we're good. Yeah. So he didn't really get there in the middle of the season, but basically since February, if he gets 18 minutes, he's going to clear this. So I think it's a good spot. I am 0 for 1 playing him this year, but I would be willing to go for it again.
Nice. Yeah, I think that seems like a nice spot. We got a couple more here. Our boy Campio de Greens on X. What's going on? He said, "What's up, guys? What about Steph Curry? 8.5 rebounds and assists."
Yes, we were chatting about this one earlier. We didn't come to a conclusion, but we started. He and I were chatting about this on X. Let's look at the 8.5 rebounds and assists. I do have him projected for close to 9 or 9.5 RA. From a matchup standpoint, Tom, is it a good spot?
Let's see here. Against Miami.
Oh my God! Look.
I mean, not really. I mean, nothing. It's kind of middle of the pack or slightly below. So you really would just be playing a trend here.
Well, and I don't even know if looking at DVP for Miami is that valuable, because their lineup changes every 2 weeks. So
yeah.
But yes, I think if you look at the history, go all the way back to 22. He had 16 RA and 26 RA in his 2 prior meetings.
Can you click and see if Draymond played in those games?
Yeah. Draymond played in the 2 in 2022, but he didn't play in the one this year. So it's hard to put a lot of value in something that was over a year ago like this, but because of very different teams. But if Butler plays and Bam plays, they're close enough. I think it's worth a shot. Maybe half unit on the over 8.5.
Okay. All right. And then I just see a note here. Gafford 2 assists, still plus money, apparently. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, we had a plus 1,000 winner in the Discord at 5 assists, so might as well just keep laddering up Gafford until they until the books catch up.
That's it. All right. And then we just got a quick ask for a recap from our boy Brandon Wong again. No problem. We had Jimmy Butler over 21.5 points, Austin Reeves over 17.5 points, Giannis over 48.5 PRA. We also were looking at Brook Lopez threes, over 1.5 threes, Chet Holmgren over 15.5 points, Josh Giddey over 5.5 rebounds, Zion over 5.5 assists. We talked about an SGP, maybe alting both of those down to 5 and 5, possibly putting them together. And then we had Gafford over 7.5 rebounds and more of a lean on De'Aaron Fox over 26.5 points. Did I miss anything, Dave?
That was excellent. You're getting good at the recap. I was looking at my notes hoping you would have it because that would have sounded very differently if I had to do it.
All right. I think I got them all.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Nice work. We will be back in about, 5.5 hours or so. We're going to be back at 8 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk. We got Bets from the Boot joining us again. We talked with him about round 1 of the NCAA tournament, and we did pretty well. You and him both had a 67% hit rate on your picks, which was very nice. And we're going to talk about the Sweet 16. We're going to give out our biggest picks for the bracket, and we're also going to give out probably some props as well.
Nice. Looking forward to it. Got my work to do right now. We'll get off this one. We'll get some of these bets in. We'll start doing our NCAA Sweet 16, Elite 8 research, and we'll see you all back at 8 p.m. tonight to make some more money. Let's do it.
Let's go.